Hi everyone, and it's me again, and I'm with the lovely Fiona Shoults. And this is a very happy day for me because I haven't seen Fiona for quite a while. And the first time I met her, I was enthralled because I thought, what a beautiful woman, beautiful woman. And at that time, I didn't know why, because I'm sure you'll find the same thing. Fiona does exude a warmth and a genuine caring and nurturing of people. So I immediately, when I met her, felt loved and felt valued. So, and let me explain to you then why I've invited Fiona to speak with us today. Hi, Fiona, it's lovely to see you. Fiona, I met at a business network, and she was there with her business, which I'll get her to talk to you about because it's intriguing. It's a very unusual story, and I'm inviting her today because as an outcome of one of the groups she's been working with in that business, which is an unusual one. It's not unusual, but and the way that Fiona works is unusual and very special. There's been an outcome, which is this lovely book that she's written, and we'll talk about that as well. So, welcome, Fiona.
Hello. Thank you very much for inviting me on. Very exciting.
Yeah, it's lovely. I can see you in your office there and your clinic. So yes, microblading. So you had a career in financial services, and then you went into microblading and the beauty aspect. Can you tell us a little bit about that and where it led you, please?
Yeah, so for 26 years I was working in finance, so this is completely different. I mean, I didn't even wear makeup, so not particularly. But when I was 32, so 18 years ago, I had breast cancer. And since then I always wanted to give back, but I didn't know how, apart from doing, bring and buy sales and cake bakes and stuff like that. But I wanted to do more. Anyway, I stopped working and had my baby, which took 7 IVF, so it was quite a journey. And I didn't want to go back into finance, but I didn't know what to do. So we were getting married, and I went off to get my eyebrows done because when I had my chemotherapy, I lost my brows and my fingernails and my eyelashes and everything. So I went off to make them. Yeah, it was horrible.
No, that.
When I was having my eyebrows done, the lady had a little sign on the wall saying, "Would you like to train in microblading?" And that was my light bulb moment. I just thought, yeah, I can help, because if you have your eyebrows done before your chemotherapy, then you don't have that transition period of looking a bit odd and lost. And
Yes.
so I started with microblading. I don't actually do much microblading now. It's not great for your skin, which I didn't realise at the time. So I use a tattoo gun instead. But my ultimate goal was to be able to complete ladies who'd had full mastectomies and reconstruction, because although they have their breasts back, they don't have any areola, generally. So yeah, I now do that. I'm always out here nippling, as people call it, or tattooing. And
I think
for nippling or tattooing.
The very first time I met you, or the second time perhaps, you brought these demonstration pieces, pieces that you'd worked on as examples. Like we were all these little flat little squares with nipples on them all around the room.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people who have not had that type of cancer or that type of treatment would even think it's a thing, and would certainly very rarely have any experience of seeing what that kind of a tattoo can look like and how realistic it is. So, you are unusual in that way, as well as your personality and your demeanour, which is yeah, and funny. Yeah. So
in addition, sorry.
No, I was just going to say.
In addition to that, so I can now, if I do the areola, but they have lots of scars as well, so I can now work on the scars. And sometimes if their breasts are redone from their tummy, they have stretch marks, so I can work on the stretch marks and the scars and the areola, and get it looking as normal as you can.
Okay. So if you have skin taken from your tummy to create that breast, then you have obviously scarring there, but it's not like a slice across, is it? Then do they have scarring around that?
Yeah, it almost looks like an eye shape, and it's very white, But if it's come from the tummy, you can have stretch marks and other nasties that you might have had down there. Yeah, so we can work on that as well as the
I
scarring
see.
around it.
Yeah. So it's an education. It's a very much an
It is.
education, very important conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. So much goes on in here.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it must be
Therapy.
very emotional at times.
Yes,
With
it can
joy
be.
as well as sadness. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, the ladies that come in, I work with their mind as well when they're here. So I take them on a little bit of a journey. I'm not sure if they know that's happening, but I do try. So I'm putting positive thoughts into their mind the whole time around their new artwork and their baby birthdays. So that when they leave, they're very positive about it and themselves. Because so many women are like, "Oh, I'm so lucky because I only had this cancer." Or, I'm so no,
Yeah.
you're not. You're not lucky. And
Mm.
it's trying to make them feel how important they are and how special they are. And I feel that's my main part of my job in here, apart from the aesthetic side of it, is
Yeah.
making them feel loved and important. And many women haven't looked at themselves in the mirror since they've had it done. So that could be 10,
Yeah.
15 years and they've not looked at themselves.
Oh,
So I've got a massive mirror just here and they're like, they won't look at all. So you have a little hand mirror and then they get up and run at the mirror.
oh.
But it's amazing, the transformation in their mind and their own views as well, not just aesthetically. So I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Well, it's
Very
tremendous, isn't it? Tremendous. It's life-changing what you're doing. When you
cool.
started off, obviously you were just thinking of eyebrows and the actual initial facial part, which greets the public. But it's a very personal thing, what else has happened and traumas that have happened to your body in that situation. So, and from personal experience, so you've had first-hand experience at going through this. So it's
Yeah, so you've got the scars, and personally, they don't bother me. You know, my body's what I've been through. It's a journey and a story, but not everyone's like that. I've just kind of pushed it away and cracked on. But it affects
yeah.
people in very, very different ways. Very different ways. So
And you went
yeah, to
on
be
to
able
have
to
a
put
baby. You have a daughter.
yeah. Yeah, she was 8 last week, so had a
Oh,
busy morning. We've been to see the real Father Christmas this morning.
oh.
She knows he's real because his beard doesn't peel off, so she gave it a good tug just
Really?
to make sure.
Yes, it's Christmas time.
Definitely the real one.
Yeah, it's Christmas time. It's a time for families and for snuggling down into approaching winter. So it's quite a cozy time. Yeah, it's lovely. It's a good turn up for your personal story and to help other women. So, tell me about this group that you run, the Booby Bunch.
Oh, the Booby Brunch.
The Booby Bunch, the Booby Brunch. So I presume you eat and
Booby
have
Brunch, yeah.
a meeting over lunch.
The Booby Brunch. Yeah, well, we meet about 10 o'clock, I think it is, in the morning. But yeah, it's a Facebook group, and we meet once a month in Raynham in a little cafe called TikToks. And it's open to anybody that's had breast cancer, male or female, and whenever their diagnosis was. So I had cancer 18, 19 years ago now, actually, and there weren't any groups around.
No.
And there were loads before lockdown. There were quite a few. I used to help out with some Macmillan ones, but over COVID they stopped, obviously, and they haven't started again. So I just thought, no, I'll do it myself. That's it. So I started it up with one of my friends, Rachel Chapman, and it's been going since May, and we've got 54 people, I think, have joined so far.
Wow.
We don't all meet together. It's normally about 6 to 8 people come along each month.
Yeah.
But generally we have a new lady in there, so which is nice.
So that's amazing. So what happened about this authorship then? I gathered that there were quite a few of you writing books. That's fascinating story, because I gather they're all about breast augmentation.
No, not at all. No, years ago when I first met my husband, I bought him this crocodile, one of the Roald Dahl crocodiles. And he's kind of travelled the world with us. He's pretty battered. He's met lots of actors and footballers, and he's had his photo taken, but he's a bit of a foul-mouthed alcoholic. So we kind of thought, I can't write about him just yet. But I took him and thought I'd write a book about him. But it was lockdown, so I joined a writing group, really just to have a glass of wine and a chat. And then when Karen turned around and said, right, Fiona, we're going to read your book, what you've done next week. Is that all right? And I was like, I haven't even started it.
Really?
So I was like, okay. So I
Oh,
spoke to my daughter and said, "What's the crocodile going to do?" So
yeah.
she gave me a few ideas, and I just sat and wrote. And once I started, because it's written in rhyme, it just kept going.
Oh,
So yeah, it was really good. And writing like that in a group is so good because you get bits that you're stuck on that you make them sound right in your own head because you've written them, but you
mm,
know they're not really. So if you've got 6 other people or 5 other people sort of, they go, "Oh, what about that? What about turning it that way?" And yeah, and that's how it progressed. It was brilliant. And
oh,
we all launched at the same time as well, which was really good fun.
oh. So that's a collective effort, but not into one book, but in several books. What other
So
kind of books were there then?
there was, well, mine's a picture book for younger children written in rhyme. And then Beverly wrote a children's book, but more of a chapter book about her dogs. So she turned them into little characters. That was really funny. There was there were 2 novels and a factual book about self-love and self-love journeys, that sort of thing. But yeah, it was really interesting. Very different types of books, different
Yeah,
genres.
yeah,
But
that's
it's good fun to listen to those as well.
mm.
Yeah.
It's amazing how creativity also is a healer, isn't it? And
Yeah,
help you to take your mind off your
it,
issues, but help
absolutely.
you go to deeper levels where you were. But also, I find it's freeing because when we're children, we're very creative and we can lose ourselves in our imagination. And yeah,
Oh, I
so
definitely did that.
yeah, yeah.
It was good fun. It was really good fun. And then my father-in-law used to be a creative director for advertising, and he retired about 14 years ago. So I said, any chance you could do some illustrations? And he's like, "Oh no, no, I couldn't do that." But I wrote the book and set it out and just left the pages where I needed pictures,
Uh-huh.
and I gave it to him and said, "Just have a look." And
Oh,
he came back with this massive sheet with all these drawings on, and then he
oh,
made me a little frame so I could take photos of the bits I needed. I was like, it's not quite what I meant, but it worked, and I did it. And yeah,
yeah.
together we put it all, put it together. My daughter's in there with her little hands doing stuff.
Oh,
It was a real
amazing.
family effort.
Amazing how an idea spreads and brings joy to other people. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right. So let's have a little look at your book then. Do you have it with you? I
here
think
it
you
comes.
do.
Ready? Here
Yeah.
he is.
Okay. Oh, he's so cute. And he looks a bit like a dinosaur crocodile, which they
He is a
are.
little bit.
They are.
Yeah, so yeah, he's quite cute.
And
I don't know if
what's
you
it called? Croc Tales.
Croc Tales. Yeah, Croc Tales. Crack goes the
It's very,
egg.
very pleasing. Very, very. I think
It's
children.
very bright. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's quite, that's a black and white page, but you can see that my father-in-law's been quite busy with all his photos and yeah,
Oh, so
his
good.
drawing. Yeah, it gets colourful, and then there's all things in the back to do as well.
Is
So
there
they don't just stop at
like
reading the book.
what's
So
read the back?
do you know, I've got a thinking corner. So the story basically is a little crocodile who's lonely. So he's on a search for friendship, and he's very lonely. He's had a bit of a sad start to his little life. So
Do
it's with a grown up.
do you get
Sorry.
do you get to find out what the sad start is, or is that just
Yes.
the point that you start with?
No, you know the sad start, and then it's his journey. But yeah, you can make little friendship bracelets and discussing little discussion points. So if you're
Mm,
reading it with a child that's a little bit older, then there's something for them to discuss about how they felt about reading the book. How
oh,
else could he have done his journey? What other
mm,
friends might he have found? And making crocodiles. Skills
mm.
you can make crocodiles.
That's a
Getting
good one.
creative. My daughter drew a picture as well, which I forgot she had in there. So yeah, there's little bits that they can do in the back as well. It's
Mm.
quite good
So
fun.
this
Lots
is
to
an
do.
ideal Christmas present. This is the best time of year, isn't it? Although it's good for
Absolutely.
birthdays and Easter, I suppose. But
Yeah,
any
there's no particular theme
yeah,
at the moment. I was going to do another one for this year, and I've just run out of time. I don't
yeah,
know where this year's gone.
maybe
But
next year. It would be lovely to continue. Yeah.
yeah, it was going to be Croc's Cracking Christmas, but it
Oh,
hasn't been written yet.
you must do that. If you can produce that book so quickly, I'm sure you can produce another one. Not perhaps not this
Yeah.
Christmas, but definitely for next
No.
year.
Yeah,
Or in
that's
fact,
pushing it a bit.
a holiday for the summer. We could do two next year. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going off you now.
Well, the thing is, it has to be something that comes from you. It has to be therapeutic for you, as well as having a
Yeah,
purpose. But I think we all need purpose away from our work. And where your work is quite emotional and supportive, and you're always giving, it would be nice to be able to just dive into your inner self and create from that and see some reward as a product of
yeah.
that. So
I'd love to do another one.
yeah,
So this year, yeah, the last 18 months have been quite busy on the tattooing side, trying to get the medical side sort of change in direction away from more beauty to medical.
yeah,
So yeah, once that's sort of up and running, which is going quite well at the moment, then yeah, maybe book 2 is on its way. It's in
yeah,
here, it just needs to get out.
yeah, yeah. But you need the drawings. Maybe get the
Yeah, I
drawings.
need to speak to my father.
Yeah, that's amazing. It must have made him very proud too to be
I
featured.
think so.
That's a lovely book.
He came to the launch and he had a T-shirt made with the Croc Tales emblem on
Really,
him, and
there you go.
yeah,
Merchandise, little cups, little
yeah.
mugs. I did a book years ago, children's book years and years ago, and we had little mugs made and
Oh,
a smaller little drawing book, plain books, with the covers and
yeah.
because I'm an artist, so I did some illustrations and colour them in. But that was a long time ago. That was about a pair of dogs that my friend had. And yeah, it's interesting what I just think it's a relief from your daily life. So if you
Yes,
can find a couple of hours a week or a fortnight to just
yeah,
indulge, and your daughter would love it.
yeah, she does. She was very proud when I went to the school to read it to all the kids, and
Yes.
did a little craft thing. So they all made their own little crocodiles at different ways and drew pictures for me. And they did
Mm.
little letters afterwards as well with all their drawings. And the teachers bound
Oh,
it for me. I was like, oh, thank
that is so wonderful. The thing is, this
you.
is an heirloom, isn't it? It's something is
Yeah, it was
with
lovely.
your grandchildren as well later, so they know who you are, what
Yeah,
you've achieved, and that
yeah.
aspect you draw them in. Yes. Have you been into nurseries or play schools, play groups? Have you?
Oh, I haven't. I literally did it at her school, and then as sort of lockdown closed down and my business started opening up again, it kind
Mm,
of lost its momentum. I've put it in
yeah.
a couple of libraries, and it was in a bookshop in Rochester, but they don't stock that sort of thing anymore. So
Okay.
it's a
So
bit of a
how
strain.
do people get hold of this book for Christmas? And would they contact you? And how would they do that?
Yeah, they can come to me directly if they want a signed copy because I have a few here. Otherwise, it's on Amazon. Um, if you search my name or Croc Tales, it should come up.
Okay, well, all the details will be put into the package here. So what's
Okay.
your best email or address to find you? Where would they find you?
My email address is fionaschultz@yahoo.com.
Okay. And
You're going to put that
I
underneath
will
anyway.
put it in there, but that's
Yeah,
short for the Shoults.
absolutely, yes. So
Dot
fionaschultz@yahoo.com.
Yahoo. Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
on social media, you can find me on social media and message me there if they want a copy. And I
Yes.
can send
Where
it out.
whereabouts in Kent are you if people want to find
I'm in Newington, so near Raynham.
so that's Newington near Raynham in Kent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant. I'm looking forward to it. It's Christmas now. And I certainly will promote your book to some nurseries and
Thank you.
preschools because I think they would love it, absolutely love it.
Yeah,
So,
I do need to do that.
and I can appreciate you don't always have time to do the marketing. So it's wonderful. Well, thank you very much then, Fiona, for telling us about what you do and sharing your lovely book with us and your story. And I hope that everybody who's watching this appreciates how much is available. If you want to contact Fiona, she can put you in touch with people in your area, I'm sure. And of course, her book, if you've been smitten by the book and Croc Tales, like I was, I think it's comical and lovely, and it's a great gift for Christmas. So I wish you well, and thank you, Fiona, for coming and talking to us.
Thank you very much, Victoria. It's been lovely. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.